Just because someone gave birth to you doesn't mean you owe them undying love. There's this awful stigma around not loving your parents. A lot of people believe that you should always love them because they're family, they brought you into this world. I don't believe that's the case. Everyone has a different experience and no one should be forced to love someone because they were birthed. It's toxic and unhealthy. Raising someone with love and care gives a reason, but like you said, giving birth does not mean anything. THX Silver Guy folded hands. No one can be forced to feel anything, it's internal. But having social pressure to outwardly act as though you love a parent, or anyone else, is, as I think is your point, a hot mess. Personally, I never had this problem. My parents, although flawed, honestly did the very best they were able to for all their children. The child had never asked to be born, and it is physically and mentally incapable of raising itself. If someone gives birth, and only gives the child what it needs to live, the grown child owes nothing to the parent. To the people who say that I am lucky to have known my abusive birth mom, and that I should care about her because she is my mom. She is not my mom, fuck you. The reverse is also true. There must be some parents who don't love their child and too ashamed to admit. I agree with I had a horribly toxic mother who emotionally, verbally, and physically abused me throughout my childhood. I have cut off all contact with her now. It's been a year since I last spoke to her or saw her. My family is perfectly aware that I am not going to like any member of the family simply because they're family. Case in point, my scumbag of a cousin who stole, destroyed my auntie's car, become a drunkard and is God knows where, hopefully in jail, who I would turn into the police without hesitation if I knew where he was, even if my auntie begged me not to. She has. That being said, I love most of my family, and while I am not exactly the most expressive guy, I will occasionally hug my mom and aunties, Grammys, etc., and drink with my uncles, dad, and others despite the fact that I do not like to drink. Carlin said it best, respect is earned, and if they don't respect you they can fuck off. Any idiot can make a baby, it takes good people to be parents. My mom's mom was very abusive to her and her sisters. Not physically, but she was emotionally manipulative and all around just an asshole. But we still have to invite her to things because she's my mom. I respect my parents to a point for bringing me into this world, but that's a minimum requirement. My family is very dysfunctional and all I've ever heard at home is constant arguing and tension. My parents almost never showed me affection. All this negativity messed me up as a kid. I was very shy and quiet and I had self-esteem issues. I'm finally over that. I'm finally confident in myself and my body. However, I'll be 18 in less than 4 months and I'm treated like a fucking 8-year-old. I'm a very good student and I'm responsible, yet they want me home at 7 p.m. whenever I hang out with friends. I can't do anything without them interrogating me because they think I'll turn up dead or join the Crips if they don't know what I'm doing 24/7. My mom even kicked out my girlfriend one night because she's black. They expect me to just stay home all day and exist instead of going out and enjoying my free time and teenage years, even if I do all my schoolwork for a week in advance. My life is currently almost hell. They constantly yell at me and they hate my girlfriend and they don't let me spend time with her. I have to start an entire battle with my mom just to see her for 3 hours once a week. I'm fucking sick of this shit. Fun fact, the phrase blood is thicker than water, you know, family over others, actually means the exact opposite. The original phrase is the blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which meant that the bonds you forge willingly with others are more robust and strong than bonds that are inherently believed to be there. Your bonds with your close friends and potential romantic partners are powerful because you all met on a common ground and have the same interests or maybe even similar histories of pain, whereas in contrast, the redeeming factor of the bond between parent and offspring, in terms of its inception first and foremost, is simply that they made you. Edit, for those asking for a source, best I can find are religious interpretations and ancient interpreters, who compare the phrase with the Arabian blood is thicker than breast milk. As for an official source that'll give you those concrete facts you desire, I admit that I have none, so feel free to either take the above comment with some salt or disregard it entirely. We also didn't choose to live, it was their choice. Something that really needs to be said. It depends on the reason you don't love them. If they gave you a good life and you don't love them because you grew into an ungrateful and spoiled person, then you're the asshole. If they were overall shitty to you growing up but still expect unconditional love from their spawn, then they're the asshole. If they did their job well as parents, then loving them for it should just be natural and not forced. Otherwise, yeah, I get what you mean. Toxic is the most overused and meaningless word of the modern era. This works both ways as well. If your kid turns 18 and tries to hurt you or your other children, they don't owe you anything and neither do you. Fine, I will keep this Mother's Day gift for myself. There. I did it. I just ate 2 boxes of Russell Stover's chocolates and barfed in my lap in shame. I have to say that I wholeheartedly agree. While my mother did raise me, in addition to the whole birth thing, she's caused me significant suffering in my young adult life. Due to her mental illness, and her unwillingness to take responsibility for it when she is well, I am in constant fear of what she may do. Even when she is her normal self, she acts as if she isn't the cause of the suffering she has caused. It's becoming a situation where I don't want her in my life because of the damage she does every time she's in it, but I'm constantly guilted by my family because I'm supposed to love her unconditionally. I feel this way about my mom. She gave birth to me at a young age when she didn't want to be a mom and just wanted to be a teenager. I grew up living my own life as much as she lived her own. She wasn't tender or maternal, more like a stern teacher. Now that I have my own family and her husband will be dead soon, she wants to be all lovey-dovey towards me and my children, but she didn't earn our love. She Facebook stalks me and sends too many emails talking about herself, and I just want her to go away.